Hey Leo, what's your favorite music video?
I never had a TV. I never had
Poor
a t-
little Leo.
yeah. It's tough being Leo Troy. I never had a TV through most of MTV and Much Music, and then when I did win a TV. I still didn't have cable for many many years. So I never saw these at the time, but I've slowly got to be I think my off the top of my head, I guess my favorite would be uh, there's a Ramones video. I want to be sedated, and it's just great. It's this organized chaos where the four guys are around a table, and there's just this mayhem that's going on behind them. I love that. But there's another Ramones video now. I'm thinking about it, Blitzkrieg Bop, where they stole. I'd love to know how they did this, but they somehow managed to get the video from the Adams family, and it's Wednesday Adams, who just passed away recently. Teaching Lurch how to dance.
I just saw that video
The
and
way
was
she's
watching
dancing
it.
is so good. And I thought, how is this? How is this? I actually had to go and do a little bit of back. I go, oh, it is. In the actual episode, it's some other song, but it's done so well that I think, oh my God, really? That can't be. But it's done so well. But there's one more. There's one more. ACDC's "It's a Long Way to the Top," and this is it's probably like mid 70s. Videos are in their infancy, and the band is in its infancy, and they are playing outdoors, and you just see these strangers, just these people coming by and going, what is this crap? And just walking off, not realizing that they just walked away from what will be the biggest, rock and roll band in the world. And that was a piece of history that they just walked away from. But it was kind of interesting to just watch the, people coming and going. So, yeah.
So you listed three, but which is your favorite?
Oh, that would be Cher's. If I could turn back time on that battleship. Oh my God, that is just amazing. Cher, yeah. So my favorite video would be Cher.
And that outfit she was wearing.
Yeah, the outfit didn't hurt, but just wow, what a production! I mean, that is a big, big production.
Okay, so let's get started.
Let's get started.
Yeah. Welcome to Lunchbox Sociables, where we discuss all things music, and today we're continuing on with music video production.
Yes.
In the last episode, we discussed pre-production. Now we're going to talk about the actual video shoot.
Okay. Okay.
So what do you want to start with?
Yeah. Fuck.
Now we're talking about the actual video shoot. So let's talk about the how.
I guess I should be paying attention to what you're talking about. Sorry.
What do you shoot video with, Leo?
Oh, okay. Well, then let's just, what's in my hand? So this is my very first camera. This was Samsung S7, but I do love this little camera. It still gets used in videos. And I've got a Zhiyun Smooth 2Q or Smooth 2Q gimbal stabilizer. I think I was a little bit ahead of the curve because we'd be out there using this, and people are like, what has this guy got going there with this? But you can see it's a stabilizer, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. It always keeps your picture nice and level. So this is what I started with. I just did something on its own. So I will just turn you off. It'll grab the other one.
While you're doing that, as I know how precious you are with all your equipment.
I already know where this is going.
The infamous time that I fell through the ice when we were trying to do a video shoot down by the lake,
right.
And you weren't concerned at all about
Your
me.
hand was up, and I just came and I just grabbed the camera out of her hand. Is the gimbal okay?
I'm up to my thighs in freezing cold water, and
Lake
all
Ontario.
you care about it was a creek. It wasn't.
Well, yeah, but it was a creek leading into Lake
Lake
Ontario. Right on the edge
Ontario.
of Lake Ontario. But it was just that her hand was still up in the air holding the camera, and I just come running up and I grabbed the camera. Is the camera okay? So then I upgraded to a Samsung S20 with a Zhiyun. What is this? A smooth Q
4.
Smooth Q S4. So a little fancier, little more bells and whistles. Most of which I don't use. But actually, while I have this one, it's a good thing to point out. If you get yourself one of these things, these stabilizers, it's important to have the camera sitting. See, it's already kind of, it's not working very hard.
Floppy.
But it's balanced. And to balance it, I just taped a couple of metal washers because it was the camera. These bigger cameras it was too heavy that way. Because of the whole time, these stabilizers, there's little motors inside, keeping it this way, keeping it this way. And if it's already off balance before you even start, it's working really, really hard. You can just feel it getting warm. You're working so hard to keep it level. So if you can make it balanced left and right already before you even fire it up, that once you do fire it up, let's see if it... See, it comes to life, and now it's not working very hard. But if you don't have that level, that it makes it makes it work much harder.
And that's because your camera is heavy, like the phone is heavy?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. They're designed for the average phone. They're not always designed for maybe your phone. So just put your phone in and decide if it's fitting this. It's nice and balanced. Like the S7 inside of the Smooth Q2. I don't have to add anything. It was perfectly balanced to begin with. The S7 I love. This S20. This was my worst purchase ever. This has been a terrible camera. It's been of all my relationships, this is the worst relationship ever. This was a bad relationship. Now, I have upgraded to the Sony. Oh my gosh,
NHX80.
Yes. So I'm very happy with the camera. I guess I can't show it to you while we're filming, but I'll put a picture of it in it. I'm very happy with the camera. It does 4K. Lots of extra little parts that I don't use, and some of the parts I do use. The user interface is lacking. But that's all post stuff anyway. So what I'm most concerned with is what is the quality of the video. I could have bought a real fancy camera that I see other people using, but they're in the hands of photographers. They're in the hands of real videographers, like full-time people. I need to be able to just give this camera to you or to anybody and just say, here, take a video of me running through this field, be getting chased by this cow.
Now on to my favorite topic.
Lighting?
Lighting.
Yeah, lighting.
I'm a thorn in your side when it comes to lighting.
Well, lighting is so important, and it is so difficult. Like, all of our shoots, it's always about the lighting, whether it's outdoor, indoor. It's never like the sound or this or that. It's always about the lighting. I'm never happy about the lighting. You're never happy about the lighting. We always seem to be trying to focus on the lighting. Outdoors, as you have made me fully understand, sunlight's not your friend.
Correct.
And shadows, harsh shadows are not your friend. If you're going to be outdoors, what I like is the magic hour lighting, like the when the sun is going down, especially in the summertime, that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock magic hour. I guess there's a magic hour in the morning, but we're rock and rollers. We're not getting up at 5. We're gonna shoot this video at 5. So that almost all magic hour sunlight's going to be in the afternoon for rock and roll. Mm-hmm. And indoors has its own challenges. So outdoors, the sun is not your friend. A cloudy day is good. Low sun is good. Indoor has its own challenges with lighting.
Yeah, and I think I'm learning a lot, and a lot of it is trial and error, but there's so much more that we can both learn really about lighting. Yeah. Like I said, because we've got, 4 or 5 different light sources, so that's the other thing, having multiple sources of light. And so you just picked up, tell us about this light you have.
So this is what do you call it? I don't even know how to say it. Neewer. 600 LEDs. It can do, I don't want to go and blind people here, but this is the yellow one, and it can do a white one. So you can either have white or you can have yellow. We almost always use yellow. We very rarely have we used
It's warmer.
Yeah, it's a warmer light.
Yeah, especially if you want it on your skin, you want a warmer light on your skin, not a blue light on your skin.
And this has batteries, and they last forever. They just literally I don't think I've ever run out. I charge them up, and I can run this light for hours on these.
And that
on these
also,
batteries.
it has a tripod as well, so you can put it up.
Not ridiculously cost. I think it was, again, I want to think again, I bought a set of 2. I think it was under 200. They weren't, they were, and a nice little kit, packaging kit and a carrying kit, but both with nice tripods and 4 batteries, chargers for them. So it was a good little setup.
Yeah. The other thing I like about it too is the fact that it's on a dimmer, right? So that's the other thing with lighting. It's not just the lighting, but how bright the lighting is.
Yeah.
And, also, we mentioned about shadows. Being someone who always wants to wear a hat on your head, when there's light coming from above, it creates big shadows on your face. So we're always having to put lighting down below to light you from below. And you can even use lighting outdoors, even if you think it's a bright day or whatever. But if the light just isn't right, or if there's weird shadows, you can use lights to counteract
or
that.
those big reflectors.
Reflectors,
the big reflectors, and you can set them up. They're inexpensive, and you can set them up just to have a little bit extra light onto your subject, but not the direct sunlight. You're just having that bounced off light of the sun.
Yeah, diffused light is also really valuable because it, again, doesn't really cast those harsh shadows.
Like we have a second one of these over there, but it's not even on me. It's up into the ceiling, and I was just bouncing around.
Yeah, okay. What kind of, because you're the producer, but you're also the director, and sometimes you are the videographer, depending on the situation. What kind of direction do you give to the other participants in the video? Because not all videos are just you. You often have other band members or random people in your videos.
Good question. I try to keep it as simple as possible for people, and don't look at the camera. There's only a few people I say, yeah, you can look at the camera, you're good with the camera, but if you're not really comfortable with the camera, you're best not to be looking at the camera. And I kind of always only think that maybe only the singer should be looking at the camera, but once in a while, if it's kind of if it's a band performance video, then everybody can look at the camera as long as they're comfortable with it. But if it's a not a band performance and it's just people in the shot outside of not being the singers, I usually don't look at the camera. You got to be really comfortable looking at the camera.
Yeah, like you're looking at me right now instead of at the camera.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at the camera.
Yeah.
I don't even see that red light. Oh, maybe it's not even on.
A lot of people, when they're doing videos, create storyboards. Do you do that?
No. And it seems like a lot of work. Storyboards are when you write down, you have here I want this person to walk through this scene, this person's going to come this way, that person's going to do that, the different movements, different things are going to be happening in each setting up each scene. I've done that a few times for a couple of videos, so I shouldn't say I've never done it. I've done it a few times. But what I do usually do are the shot lists, where I say, okay, full band, I want the camera getting the full band on shot 1. Shot 2 is going to be full band, from this angle. Shot 3 is going to be full band from a different angle. Maybe it's a drone, a different shot. Shot 5 is going to be in nice and close in on the drummer, so close that you can't, the other musicians would be in the shot. So it's okay, just the photographer is going to be in that shot if they're so close. But the other musicians, they still have to play, and do that with various different people. So I'll write out all the different shots I want to have, and even then, with all the excitement of video shoot day, I usually forget some of them. But,
or you add in some that you hadn't thought of.
Yes, and that's what it's good to get all the shots that you wanted to get, and then okay, what else is possible here? What other ideas can we get out of the video the shoot location?
Yeah, I think my favorite one was when we did the video for This Is Me, backing out of the saloon. and out in the cornfield, which we know how much Leo loves his cornfields and his windmills. But the scene where we had the three of you walking up the hill towards the drum kit,
shot, right.
like coming up, and I think that was my idea. Actually, I thought, hey, that might be kind of cool to
That's
see
what we
guys.
opened the video with, right?
Yeah, and opening and closing the video with that shot, and that wasn't planned ahead. That was like, hey, why don't we try this? Because we thought it looked cool.
And not only that, this is an example of when I talked earlier about stock footage in a way. That's not even part of the song. Doesn't even kick in yet. It's just because the sound was so amazing of the cicadas and the crickets and whatever. It really had that summery feeling, and it had us, walking up the gravel road.
Knowing you and knowing how organized you are, I already know the answer to this question. Do you have like a checklist of items that you need? I don't even know why I asked this question.
I don't know why you asked the question either. Yes, video shoot checklist. So I will make sure that, before leaving the house, you have your cameras, your tripods, your lights, your light stands, your extra batteries, your musical instruments, your instrument stands, mic stands, cables, your clothing choices, tape, snacks, drinks, chairs, tarps, extension cords, flashlights, and then sometimes most importantly, the music, like your sound systems you're going to be playing to.
Mm-hmm. So can we maybe just dive into a little bit more detail of something you just mentioned, which is when you're playing the song and having the music playing for the band while you're recording the video?
Yeah. I like to use I make my own like a click track with the song, so you can hear the click, 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 click. It helps. It definitely helps the drummer if you're having a drummer in the shot. It is most important that the drummer is perfectly on time. Nobody will really notice, unless even most musicians won't notice. Oh, if a guitar player is playing the a wrong chord or a wrong note or something. Most people barely even notice if the singer might be singing something not exactly right, and won't know if it's off key or whatever. But you absolutely notice a hit on a snare, and then you hear a half second later. So so the click track is really good for the drummer. The click track is also really good in post production. So you've got all your video, you have your song, and your main track is down with that click down below, and all you got to do is your video. You hear that you have the clicks. You can see the clicks right on in the audio portion of your video, and you just line them up, and then you'll know that everything just aligns right to that. It's a whole song worth, but it's having that click track is really good to have at the time of video recording.
And you're going to talk more about that when you get into showing the post production.
Yes, yeah, in
how to line all of that up
in the next episode. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So with all the preparation required, do you actually get any sleep the night before?
Yeah, I do, but and I sleep because I'm prepared,
right.
And it's so important to be prepared, have everything planned out for. Think of all the things that could go wrong, and how you will fix it if that happens. Oh, okay. If we get a little bit of rain, what am I going to do? If we get what am I going to do to remedy all the things that could go wrong? Some things might be out of your control, but to be prepared, and it just makes it so much better on the shoot day. Because trust me, things will go wrong, and that way, okay, I know how to deal with this one, and almost all of it can be fixed with duct tape.
Or WD-40.
Yeah, so if you got a hammer, some duct tape, and some WD-40, almost everything can be fixed.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for solo musicians who want to make a video? Like maybe they don't have a whole big group of people that are going to be in their video or to help them out.
Yes. So you'd be surprised how many clips are worked their way into my videos where it's just a tripod setup. There's lots of, you just use different angles. Just you go through the song, set up the tripod, go through the song, move the tripod here, move the tripod there, zoom in, zoom out, have it different setups. But then you keep your clips really short. If you go from clip to clip to clip, 4 beats, you can really, you can, whether you're holding the camera or if it's on a tripod, it's hard to tell the difference. And with the editing software, I'm sure all of them have panning function and a zooming function, and especially the panning function. So anytime where you see it move to the left and the right, and you see this with older videos, you just see it panning. Well, it looks like it's someone that's, they're holding the camera. No, it's just the software that's doing it. So the solo artist with tripods, the worst I think is you can do is just set up on one. It's just boring just to have it set up on one and just go through it. If that's all you want to do, then that's fine. But it's more entertaining if you can have multiple different shots, different angles. You can blend them all together to have an interesting video.
Yeah, and you don't even need multiple cameras. You just have to move the one camera around.
Yeah, just the one camera.
And play your song 4 or 5 different times.
If you have 2 cameras, that's great. But now you got 2 cameras, 2 tripods, 2 or 3 or whatever. That's fine. The upside of that is then on that same take, if there's something interesting on that same take that you did while you were performing, well, you got it from 2 different angles. You can blend that. So that's handy as well. But now you just say, I've just got one camera and just one tripod. You got all the time in the world. Okay, so you could just go and set them up and do go through multiple takes.
Do you have a favorite selfie shot?
Oh, for myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That would be. I'm going to have to add it into this podcast, but it'd be from Desperate Measures, and I'm out in this field, and I set up the tripod and the camera, and I did this big walk around, and I walked up to the camera, and I did it around. I walked up to the camera, and then I walked up to the camera just to do that one shot on the one D chord. And I did it 78 times. So I was out there for so long, but it was a perfect day. The sun was perfect. The farmer whose field it was in, he ends up driving his tractor behind one of the shots, and I'm just waving at him. I'm sure he's thinking, what is this? Who is this idiot out in the middle of my field with this camera and his guitar? So that's for sure. The memories of that it was a great memory, and it's probably my favorite. And surprisingly, nobody has ever said, was that a selfie shot? Is that just on a tripod? Because it just looks like, there was a photographer, a videographer took it. That's one of my favorites.
You're known for using drone footage in your videos. How did that all come about?
Quite by accident. I have a friend at work, Mike, that has a drone, and he was a pretty accomplished drone operator. And I came across this location. I thought, oh, this would be so cool to be up on this hill and have this drone fly in. And so I talked him into coming out and taking some drone video, and me being me, managed to get him to do more drone video for about like 4 or 5 more days. And so we went all around the countryside and got lots of drone video for various songs. And this is a good example of stock footage. We took some drone video that I saved for a couple of years before I finally used it into a song. But I like the atmosphere, like a drone video. I don't do too much of it in each song. Just I like a little bit of flavor. We used a lot of it in the one song, but in other songs, I just a clip here and a clip there. I don't get too carried away with it.
Any final thoughts on video shoot day?
On video shoot day, final thoughts? Be flexible. Be prepared. Be flexible to, you never know what's going to happen. And be open to other ideas. Other people might have some ideas. Get the shots that you want to get done. That's really important. Get all those done, but be open to other ideas, and you may come across some great ideas on video shoot day. So that's why being prepared allows you to have that extra time to take other ideas. A good tip would be to do a couple of shots and then look at it. see, okay, what do we got here? If possible, if you have a laptop and you can, pull the card out and go and take a look and see what's going to look like on a bigger screen, you go, oh yeah, I see this is great, or oh, I see a problem here. And I don't know, it's my golden rule, and I forget about it, but almost every time then later I go, oh my God, all that video is crap because I forgot that setting was on the camera from the last time I was doing a nighttime shoot or something. It's like, oh, wow, or like with this fancy camera, there's no audio. I had set it for like plugging into a board. So, do a couple of clips and then go and look at it and see, yeah, this is good. And maybe lastly would be take some stills. If it's a great video and you're really enjoying it, you might want to have had some stills from that same shot that you can be used for media, for Instagram, maybe for the cover for your single or something. So it's good to take some still photography of the shoot.
Great. Okay, so what do we have coming up in our next episode?
So in the next episode, I want to finish off with video by using the video production would be using the software. I use one particular type of software. I'm not going to dig too deep into my software, but because I'm going to talk about what the functions that are likely in almost all the softwares, about assembling all the clips and all my little tips that I use to assemble all the clips to put into a video.
Okay, great.
So thank you very much for this episode of Lunchbox Sociables, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Almost all of them have a panning function and a zooming function. So you can, even if you don't have it on your camera going at the time, the software can do that pan just with the software alone. So there's ways of being a selfie. Why are you not looking at me?
I'm zooming in on you.
Oh.